Right then, this is a quick walk around video, and this is for a lovely looking car. This is a Honda Civic 1.6 SR Tourer, facelift model as you can see. Finished in white, which looks superb on the car with the black inserts. It's got the sport alloys on the car, full black leather, privacy glass. It just looks fantastic. Done 86,000 miles with a full service history in very, very good condition. Front of the car, new style front end, looks fantastic on the cars. Lights and lenses clear, intact, no cracks or condensation. Bumper very clean with only minor chipping. Likewise, same with the bonnets. With 86,000 miles, it's going to have some, but they're light compared to most cars out there. Near side of the vehicle, very smooth in the panels. Can't see any obvious indentations at all. I always think that one of the best angles for these cars is from the back. It is just a very, very handsome looking car. And go around the back. Obviously, being an estate car with a few miles, has a few light little marks as people are getting things in and out, which could be easily be touched in, but they are there, but they don't detract from the car at all. And then offside of the car, again, really, really clean and tidy. As I always say, it's not to say there aren't any little marks that the camera hasn't picked up on or I haven't seen. There always will be, but generally speaking, it is very, very, very clean. But it's such a stylish looking car. Coming to the back of the car now, absolutely enormous boots on these cars, and all very nicely finished as well. Coming to the back, wide opening rear doors, full leather interior as I said, and the leather work is in really lovely condition. It's not always the case with family cars, it can be very heavily used. It's coming to the front now, front passenger side, again all very clean and tidy. Passenger seat there, hardly been given any use at all. Coming in on the driver's side, again all very, very clean and tidy. Driver's seat itself is very, very clean, hardly any wear on the bolsters at all. So coming into the engine bay, Honda always present these very, very nicely, I have to say. Wonderful, wonderful diesel engines. Inside the car now, engine's running through this section so the dash can be seen illuminated. Dashboard looks pretty much as new. It's in amazing condition and a stunning looking dashboard too. Sat nav, you can see they are working perfectly. Pop the car into reverse, get that lovely clear gridded parking camera, all working exactly as it should. Then up to the mileage there, hopefully you can see 86,964 miles. If we come back here, it's just slightly shaky hand, I do apologise. No warning lights on the dashboard at all whilst the engine's running, and what a fantastic dashboard that is. That's the view you get, really is sensational. Right then, this is a quick road test video, and this is for a Honda Civic 1.6 SR Tourer, or Estate in any other language. This car's registered NG66KWZ, and mileage currently showing is 86,956. The reason we do all of our videos is very simple. It's to ensure that if you're looking online at our adverts, you actually get to see the cars we're advertising actually in operation. And the reason we feel it's important is because we've been on too many kind of fool's errands going to see cars which look perfectly good, only to get there and find out when you drive it's got an issue which you'd much rather know about before setting off, so hence that's why we do it. We do it on this section of very quiet country road in this lovely part of Gloucestershire. You'd never believe we'd literally just 2 or 3 minutes off the motorway. It's so quiet here, but it's very easy to come and get to. We also do it on this section of road, hopefully then to be representative of what you'd feel yourself should you be offered a test drive in the car. So coming to the car in question, it's obviously been very well looked after from new, and it's pretty much obvious straight away when you drive the car because it drives really solidly. Engine starts absolutely instantly, as they tend to do, and settles to completely smooth, even idle. No warning lights on the dashboard at all relating to the engine or any other part of the car. And temperature gauge is running as a third, which is exactly where it's meant to be on a Honda vehicle. and the car's been running for some time now. The engines are just brilliant diesel engines. They've got all the things you want from a Honda engine. Obviously they're reliable, they're long lasting. Oops, stop there. Brakes are good. Reliable and long lasting, in fact so much so that I sold one recently to a chap, another tourer. His part exchange was a Civic of the same age, but it had done nearly 250,000 miles and drove absolutely like new. So it was an astonishing thing. But that's the way they are. They're cam chain driven, there's no cam belts on them, so nothing to worry about in that respect. The other part of the engine is it's just a lovely engine to use day in, day out. It's very flexible, pulls really well. You'll only know it's really a diesel when you're sort of first gear tootling around on idle, because even Honda can't get away from the style of combustion, so they sort of sound diesely at that time. But on the move, they're very quiet, they're really punchy, as I said, and they give amazing, but I always refer to the adverts as kind of real world fuel economy. And what I mean by that is basically there's too many cars which and manufacturers that lay claim to MPG figures which are simply not achievable, or if you've got to really nurse the car to get them to give the economy. I'm going to go this way because that tractor would have won that fight. With these, it's relatively easy to get the economy. I mean, I've had numerous of these cars, and doing shorter trips like I'm doing now, I tended to be kind of high 50s, 60 to the gallon. Longer trips I could easily exceed 70 miles per gallon. It's just where you drive, how you drive. Driving style dictates a lot. Change up nice and early with them. Use a little rev prompt. If you hold on to gears too long, your economy won't be as good. You've also got this little econ button which helps with fuel economy, and it does help, only to a small degree, but that is something you can utilise as well. But the engine's superb. Clutch likewise, perfect again. It's just bite points exactly where it's meant to be. It's lovely and smooth, and actuation, so all good there. Gearbox is brilliant. Honda do engines and gearboxes absolutely brilliantly. It's the opposite of so many gear changes these days, because most gear changes, they're not going into a gearbox there. It's basically going into cables that go to the gearbox underneath. And that also means, unfortunately, that some gearboxes can feel vague, lifeless, light, horrible. This has a mechanical feel to it, almost as if it was going straight into box underneath. That's how nice it feels, and that feels absolutely like new to use. Steering of the car, beautifully weighted, tracks absolutely dead straight. There's no vibration at this speed or any speed up to the legal limit. But a lovely power steering system, because it's got really nice weighting to it. What I like about it, it gives the car a real feeling of solidity on the road. But it's quick, it's precise, it's absolutely accurate. You just point it, the car goes exactly where intended, because the chassis and the steering work brilliantly together on the car. Chassis, on these SR models, you get a little button down here so you can change the rear dampers to currently on comfort. Then I can put it into dynamic so you can feel it firm up noticeably, actually, and then to normal. It's kind of a halfway house between the two. With the roads being as appalling as they are, I tend to be in comfort mode most of the time if I'm doing sort of short trips over potholed surfaces. Longer trips or a lot of weight in the back of the car, I quite often will use the harder setting, but all works brilliantly. There's no nasty noises coming from underneath the vehicle that shouldn't be there, no rattles, no clonks, and it's just a wonderful setup, because what it achieves, which is kind of the holy grail for cars, is a really compliant, very comfortable ride, and yet one that rewards through the corners. It doesn't matter what the type of corner is, constant radius, off camber, fast, slow, the car responds absolutely brilliantly. If you're an enthusiastic driver or someone that loves driving, these really reward. It's one of the few cars you get into and actually enjoy driving, rather than just being an appliance to get you from A to B. brakes on the car, make sure no one's directly behind me. I'm going to have to hold on to things now so I don't just give them a sharp jab. They're really good. What I'm doing there is just giving them hard enough so I can get the hazard lights to come on as they did there. The brake pedal feels really solid, powerful, and no pulsing, no vibrations coming back through the brake pedals, so all exactly as they should be. Coming inside the car, it's a lovely interior, and I know when I say it in every Civic video, this is an interior you'll either like or you won't. It's a Marmite car, as I always like to call it. Personally, I love it. Fortunately, loads of our customers love it as well, because what I love about it is you get in the car, it's different to most other cars, and the layout, the way they've displayed the instruments there, but it's not a gimmick. It's not just there for show. It actually is there to actually help. In the middle here, you've got the most conventional part, big screen sat nav all working perfectly, a dual zone climate control system, which gives you option to have different temperatures side to side, and that's blowing out absolutely ice cold air. It's 23 degrees and quite hot today, and that's lovely and cold. Heated seats, all working perfectly. But in front, this wonderful two-tier design. So you've got high-up displays for things like your radio. If you use the climate control light there, you don't have to look at the display down here, which is small. You've got a much bigger display up there. But the best part, as always, is this huge digital speedo readout directly in front of me, so I can look directly ahead at the road, pedestrians, cyclists, whatever, but have my eye on my speed at all times at the corner of my eye. It is brilliant. Down below that, we've got a more conventional pod of 3 dials, big rev counter in the middle, flanked either side by the temperature and fuel gauges. Steering wheel, fat rimmed, leather bound, absolutely perfect in size, feels like new to hold as well. The whole car it doesn't feel like a car that's done 86,000 miles. It feels like a car that's done about 20,000 miles to drive. It's that tight and taut. It's squeak free, rattle free. Honda build their cars pretty much like no one else. There's only probably Lexus and Toyota that build the cars as well as Honda in the real world of ownership, when you're getting sort of 5-10 years, 50,000 miles plus. Some premium models can feel good when they're new, but don't hold up as well over the long term. As I said at the start of the video, the point, brief as it may well be, is just to show the car in operation, but to feedback on anything at all, I can find nothing. It drives absolutely beautifully. If you've got any questions about the car, don't hesitate, do give us a call.